Chapter 12, 71, Implicating Fang Yuan. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Boom, boom, boom. The silhouette of the giant horns shot around in the sky, sending out a barrage of attacks. Around old ancestor Shahu, frost energy was oozing, turning into blue, icy cold frost that swept at Edge Link Camp in layers. The two Central Continent Rank 8s in Edge Link Camp were desperately gritting their teeth. The goo immortals behind them were trying to repair the immortal goo houses. They were covered in sweat and had panicked expressions. Meanwhile, beside old ancestor Shahu, Purple Mountain True Monarch was covered in dazzling purple light, radiating in the entire Snowy Mountain Blessed Land. Central Continent's group was attacking Snowy Mountain, Purple Mountain. True Monarch was tasked to defend it. This blessed land was the foundation of the fate-reversing sacrificial refinement formation. As long as they defended it, Central Continent would lose. What should we do? Bi Chen had a frantic expression. If this continues, not only will we fail to save Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun, we will also lose this immortal goo house in our own lives. Wei Lingyang was the leader of this expedition. He had a grim expression. The situation was very disadvantageous for the Central Continent goo immortals. It could even be said they were hopeless. According to the plans of Central Continent's goo immortals, they were split into two. One group would restrain Lux Suppression, Heavenly Palace, while the other would save Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun before they joined up and left Northern Plains together. But now the group that went to Snowy Mountain Blessed Land was already close to defeat, and the other group was also waiting for their rescue. This was Northern Plains, not Central Continent. 3 Rank 8s and 3 immortal goo houses, along with a band of goo immortals, were still a relatively small number of people. Of course, this was also because the Northern Plains goo immortals were prepared. Giant Sun Immortal Venerable's plan was not known to Central Continent. Central Continent struck with a powerful attack. According to the planning of this assault, there was a huge chance of success. But as the situation progressed, the targets of their sneak attack became strong foes, and with Spectral Soul Demon Venerable's arrangements, Central Continent's goo immortals fell into this dangerous situation. Wei Lingyang's thoughts were churning rapidly. A moment later, he gritted his teeth and gave his orders, seemingly exerting his last bit of strength. "We will retreat. Forget about Zhao Lianyun and Ma Hongyun." After Purple Mountain True Monarch appeared, the situation went beyond Wei Lingyang's control. If this dragged on, Central Continent would suffer even greater losses. Wei Lingyang decided to retreat back to Black Heaven and join up with the other 2 immortal goo houses and escape to Central Continent. Edge Link Camp was directed to leave old ancestor Shuhu and Purple Mountain. True Monarch could not stop it together. After all, they had no immortal goo houses. They could not stop it from charging away. However, just when Edge Link Camp was about to charge out of the goo formation, a change occurred. The entirety of Snowy Mountain Blessed Land was rumbling intensely. A great earthquake. What is going on? The Blessed Land is collapsing. Zhao Lianyun and the others, as well as the remaining Peak Lords, were extremely shocked. Rumble! With a loud sound, the snowy peaks started to break apart. What is going on? Old ancestor Shahu showed shock on his face. The entire formation is breaking apart. Purple Mountain. True Monarch's eyes shined brightly before he corrected himself. No, this formation! Before he finished his words, the goo immortals present heard the sound of waves. At the next moment, giant rushing waves appeared out of nowhere, sweeping the battlefield. It was the secluded domain of heaven and earth, Reverse Flow River. Oh no, my wife! Everything happened too quickly. Old ancestor Shuhu wanted to charge back to the first peak, but he was engulfed by the river along the way. Within Reverse Flow River, no goo worms could be activated. Old ancestor Shuhu could not defend himself. He was washed away by the rushing tides. He had the highest battle strength in this place. If this happened to him, there was no need to mention the rest. Immortal Goo House. Edge Link. Camp broke apart in the river. The central continent Gu immortals were washed along the river like falling dumplings. Zhao Lian Yun and the rest, the peak lords of Snowy Mountain Blessed Land, Lady Wan Shou, Ying Wuxi's group, and Ma Hongyun were all inside Reverse Flow River. Snowy Mountain Blessed Land completely collapsed. Only a framework was left as the winds of assimilation started to blow. "They're coming!" Far away, Black Extremity's head was bulging with veins. He manipulated the subformation with all his strength. He was the culprit behind Snowy Mountain's destruction. And beside him, Flood Extremity was defending him vigilantly. At the final moment, Flood Extremity had to use his waterpath methods to direct Reverse Flow River. "What?" Fang Yuan felt his vision turning bright as a huge torrent engulfed him in an instant. Once the fate-reversing sacrificial refinement formation broke, everyone and everything within the surrounding 10,000 li of Snowy Mountain Blessed Land was engulfed by Reverse Flow River. Fang Yuan was within this range. He was not spared. From the raging river water, Fang Yuan's head emerged on the surface. "This is Reverse Flow River?" He had a wide range of knowledge. After his shock, he realized the origin of the river that he was in. Snowy Mountain Blessed Land contains Reverse Flow River? No wonder my ancient sword dragon transformation was removed for no apparent reason. This was natural. Inside Reverse Flow River, goo worms could not be used. Fang Yuan's ancient sword dragon transformation was an immortal killer move. It needed immortal goo and mortal goo to activate. Thus, the moment Fang Yuan was swept in, all of his goo worms stopped working. He returned to his original form. "Thankfully, I can swim." Fang Yuan moved his limbs, swimming skillfully. He looked ahead on the surface of the raging river. There were many things floating or swimming. Large numbers of wild beasts, trees and grass, and even rocks. Reverse flow. River's waves were extremely rough. Gushes of currents caused rocks or trees to move around randomly, creating chaos in the river. Fang Yuan's heart sank. In this situation, he could not use goo worms. His battle strength was at rock bottom. He could only rely on his own body's defense. At this time, Fang Yuan heard something that did not sound right near him. He quickly turned around. He saw that a giant metal tree was flowing along the river. The trunk was as thick as an elephant. It rushed towards him. "Danger!" Fang Yuan's pupils shrunk. He wanted to dodge. But in the torrential reverse flow river, he could not move easily. His speed was very slow. The metal tree crashed into his waist. Fang Yuan was quickly knocked into the depths of the river. Next, he rapidly moved his four limbs before resurfacing above the river. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. He breathed raggedly, taking in fresh air as he inspected his body, checking his injuries. He was shocked when he checked it. Because he had no injuries. He only had a bruise on his waist. But soon his bruise vanished. Fang Yuan's eyes shined, he realized. "Oh, right, my body is not normal. I have the sovereign immortal body." Inside Reverse Flow River, Fang Yuan could not use any goo worms. He could only rely on his own body. However, his sovereign immortal body was not normal at all.